can get it done. I love it. We're recording. I want to start off this week by wishing you happy Valentine's Day and thank you for spending some time with me. I'm super excited for you. We're at the halfway mark. We're getting ready to head into the back half of the journey in our 60-day challenge. And so, congratulations, you've made it this far and just keep going. Also, if you feel like you were super confused and you weren't quite sure what you were doing, hit the reset button and restart. Okay, so Monday is a fresh start. Go through it again. Start where you need to. Pick up what you didn't get done, right? If you've got some videos out there, get them made up because it's all progressive and it's all in alignment with where we want to be at the end of the 60-day challenge. This week's pillar of health is hydration, and hydration is important in movement also. The other thing I want to show you is I'm on the go, but I still have everything that I need because I use this little handy tool that's called a Stack It. So on the bottom side, here's my Vital Fuel Shake. Here's my Java. Here's my Sport and Go. All my supplements up at top. So I am completely set, and I did not make travel the reason why I'm not going to be consistent. So get what you need, have the tools, and then find the time and make yourself the priority, right? I'm here supporting family. I'm here to be in a celebration of life, but I have to take care of me. I have to make myself the priority. I have to fortify my body. I have to hydrate it, and I have to be where I'm at with my space so that I can show up and be 100% for the rest of my family. So that was my tip about that and traveling and how we can do that still on this program. But going back to hydration, let's talk about a little bit of some things related, right? So we know that the standard is 64 to 120 ounces of water in a day. That's what our body needs. The rule is half your body weight in ounces of water. And then in movement, the rule there is 125% replenishment. Okay, so 100% is if this is my water bottle and I drink all of it, I have to drink it again when I'm done working out, plus 25% more to rehydrate my body because of what I've sweated out and what I've utilized in the movement portion of my day. So make sure that you get that water in. Hydration is key. Not only is important for us, but our bodies are 60 to 70% water. Our brain is 80. The funny story I have for hydration that I share with my clients is that when I was younger, I would come to my dad and say, I'm hungry. And he would say, drink some water and then come back in 30 minutes. And I was like, this man's the meanest man alive. He won't give me food. But the truth of it is, my father understood about hydration. And probably if I had that consumption of water and I waited the 30 minutes, I wouldn't feel hunger. Let me talk to you about that for a second. Our hunger sensor is inefficient. It does not tell me, I'm sorry, our hydration sensor is inefficient. It does not tell me that I'm dehydrated before I'm at a level of dehydration, right? By the time my mouth gets dry and I think, I need some water, I'm already in a state of dehydration. So the body will send different kinds of cursors, different kinds of cues to you to get your attention. One of them is hunger. When I am thirsty and I am dehydrated, my body will tell me I'm hungry. And what I really need is hydration. So, one thing that we have here that's super key to hydration here at Top Shelf Nutra is that Sport and Go. Your Sport and Go is your hydration tool. So, after that workout, that's when I want you to get it. During the middle of the day when you need a boost of energy, that's when I want you to have some Sport and Go. One of the reasons, some feedback I heard about Sport and Go was Sport and Go seems to make me not feel hungry. Again, you're attaining or obtaining a new higher level of hydration than before. So all of a sudden, when you're drinking the Sport and Go, you're maintaining that level of hydration for a longer period, and now you don't feel as hungry. Remember, I just said hunger comes through as a sensor or a cue for thirst. So makes perfect sense why you might feel that way if you utilize that product, not to mention all of the great things that it's putting back into the body, the essential nutrition, the vitamins, the minerals, and the electrolytes, and all of that getting back into the body once you're done with that workout. So hydration is super important, especially in the space of movement, especially in the place of cognition, being able to process information and understand it. So cognitive ability is key. and is enhanced by your level of hydration. Did you know that? That's super exciting. So I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about those hydration products. And then I also want to open up the floor for some questions and answers. You've had 3 weeks now of movement. There are movements out there that I'm sure you've tried and that you're like, I'm not quite sure what to do or how to do that. So I want to open up some space for you to ask some questions. Now, earlier this morning, I did get up early. I went back down to the workout space and I filmed the 4 videos or the 4 movements for the tile I'm going to release today. They're a little more advanced. So each of them has 1 to 3 videos for that movement so that you can see beginner, moderate, and advanced. Okay, so any questions so far? What can I do to support you at this halfway mark? And then I'll get into a little bit more coaching. Anybody at all? Nothing in that space. Okay, I want to go into a little bit of share because I do want your faces to come on the Zoom. I need to see your smiles. I need to see your smiling faces and your beautiful, glow that you've got going on. You're coming into your health. Things are starting to change. This week, I do want you to take an update picture. Okay, so pull out those first pictures that you took, your before pictures, figure out what outfit you were wearing and where you were standing in the house. And by Monday, I want you to take a new photo. Okay, because there's going to be some changes no matter what you've done. If you've done 50% of what's been put out there in front of you, you've made some progress. If you did 80% of what we put in front of you, I know you've made some progress and gotten some gains. So I want to make sure that we benchmark this. We're right at the halfway mark. So put that outfit back on, take the pictures. If you're not comfortable posting them onto the page, send them to me directly or put them into our chat. What I'll do is I'll take your before and your after, and then I'll put it side by side. I'll send it back to you with a little bit of information about what I see in transformation. Sometimes the best thing to do is take the picture and then eliminate the head. When I'm looking at the body from the head down, all of a sudden I start to see different changes. The neck might be changing, the chest might be changing, shoulders, space between the arm and the body. What is your waist doing? Do we have one? Are your pants up higher? Those kinds of things are things that I'm going to notice in that side by side. Want to make sure you take it in all 4 poses: front, both sides, arms out straight in front of you, and the back, arms down. Make sure you put that water bottle by your right foot in all of the photos for relativity, right? That way, when I look at the before and the after, I can use that thing to gauge to make sure that the forms are somewhat similar, even if the angle in the picture is a little different. Okay, so that's your homework this week, is get that done. Second of all, I want to make sure that you put hydration at the top of the priority list this week. We've talked about fueling, we've talked about fortifying, we've talked about essential nutrition, but now let's get into the hydration piece. So switch the focus. Maybe this week you need a little hydration challenge, a water challenge, right? If you haven't been consistent in getting the ounces of water in, make that the focus. Maybe you give yourself a star every time you drink a water and then count your stars to see how many you did in a day. This isn't supposed to be regulatory and demotivating. This is supposed to help you be inspired to get more water in each day. Okay, so switch your focus for just this week. Get your movement in. Remember and practice the things that you've already learned. Stay in the space of your mindful eating. Those hormones are resetting, and I'm super excited for that for you. Maybe you're noticing that. Maybe you're noticing there's a little bit of difference now in when you're hungry and when your body says you're full. And I know you've been practicing that discernment between, is this mind body or mind hunger or biological hunger, and which do I need to do? Do I need to do a snack to bridge the gap to my full meal? Or is it time for me to eat? And I know you're practicing that and you're getting really good at it and your body is responding. And that is the best thing you could do for yourself in the nutrition space. Because regardless of what method or what style or what period of time you spend in intentional eating, the body has to respond to it. So, what you're doing in this space is excellent, and it's preparing and resetting the body so that it will do that for you. And that is beautiful. All right, I want you to share some wins for the week. I'm going to either call on you or I'm going to get 3 people to volunteer. Todd, I'm going to ask you to go first. I think it's been awesome for the community to hear you with some of the things that you've been challenged with, but also some of your successes. So, do you have a win this week that you'd like to share with us?
So my win is that I'd gotten in kind of a bad habit of I do some meetings and counseling and things in the evenings. And so sometimes my interviews and things go late and I don't get back home until, 10 to 11. And it happens multiple nights and I get hungry again. I don't know, after 3 hours of interviewing, I get hungry. And so I come home, everybody's in bed and I've developed a little bit of a bad habit. I had developed prior to the challenge a little bit of a bad habit of that was an easy go-to was a bowl of ice cream to kind of let down before I went to sleep. And and so with the challenge, I've changed that. Now if I come home and I really can't, I do what you said. I have water. I drink a bunch of water first to see if that's really what it is. But if I'm still hungry before bed, I just make a shake. And the amazing thing is I'm actually sleeping better. So it's good all the way around. I'm not getting the extra calories. And sometimes it's just that I needed to drink something, some hydration before and kind of the hunger goes away. I think more than anything, it's just after working all day, then interviewing all night, I just kind of needed a break. And I can find other ways. I can sit down and enjoy a wonderful Vital Fuel shake. And I still have the same relaxation let down before I go to bed. So anyway, that's my win is that I'm not snacking at night before going to bed.
I think that that's awesome. And Todd, that's a behavior change. So you heard him talk about the pattern prior, right? He came home and he thought he was hungry. And so immediately he went to something that was satisfying and gratifying in the ice cream space. 1 second, I just got to grab some tea. Sorry for this. So that's something to think about too. When you get home from work or you get home from your day, what is the first thing you do? Do you walk in, turn on the TV, grab a bag of chips, and then sit in front of it for a period of time? So how do I shift that thinking and then change the behavior pattern behind it? So now when he's getting home, he's drinking water first because honestly, you might be at a high level of dehydration, especially after talking to several people like that, right? That's an expenditure, and we don't always take time to take a sip of water when we're in this space of conversation. Will you turn that music off for me? Thank you. Also, with you taking in a shake, it's a different and processing through the nutrients that you just consumed than if you eat food, right? If I eat food, I've got to chew it, pass it through my mouth into the esophagus, get it down through my digestive tract into my stomach. I've got to go ahead and go through that digestive process, absorb the nutrients, get it down through my intestines, and then excrete it. When you go through the liquid process, right, the liquid nutrition, it's fast absorbency. So we took away about half of the process. So now Todd isn't really going into bed where he's in
I
the
can't hear you,
middle.
Kristi. Can the rest of you hear her?
Can you all hear? Okay, it's not in the space where he's in the middle of the process of digestion. He's further along in the process because it's liquid nutrition. So it's fast absorbency, quick to the system, and it'll process faster. The feeling of fullness helps us sleep better, right? Think about a little kid that you give that bedtime snack. Part of that is that you're trying to satiate the stomach so that they'll get to sleep instead of being in a state of I'm staying awake because I got a little bit of hunger. Children don't understand that, but we do. So same type of thing. Next person, I want to hear from someone else.
Hi, this is Florine.
Hi,
Hello,
Florine.
everyone. Um, I was not getting all my water in. I tried to get at least 64 ounces. And the reason is part of the time, if I drink a lot of water, I don't get the sleep that I should get because I'm up going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. What with this challenge, though, I am getting more ounces of water in. Sometimes I get 64 ounces in. Some days I don't. I'll depend on my schedule. But I am drinking more and keeping up with my water. So this challenge, you talked about hydration this morning. So this has helped me to be more focused on making sure I get water in. But like I say, some days I may get close to 64, like I may get 50. Other days I do get 64. 64 ounces is my target, though.
I love it. If you weren't getting it before and you're now focusing on it, that's excellent, right? That's progression. And we're moving towards in progress to what the big goal is. So sometimes it's not, it's baby steps, right? Now, here's the other thing about hydration. Just like Florine said, some days she's getting a little bit, other days it's more. Now, if I am a person who is not in practice of hydration, I cannot go from drinking one full bottle of water in a day to a gallon. Okay. That level of oversaturation is just as dangerous as being dehydrated. So I cannot go from drinking one bottle of water to 1 gallon. My system will not handle that either. So if today it's only one bottle, my challenge for you is it's a bottle and a half tomorrow. And then progressively through a period of time, you get to where you need to be. What it is acclimating to that level of hydration. So if I drink the one bottle and then one and a half, and I'm finding myself in the restroom, I'm going to stay at one and a half until that isn't my pattern of behavior. Once my body can handle one and a half at neutral, at homeostasis, that's when it's time for me to increase. The goal is to get to the goal of half the body weight in ounces or up to a gallon, but it is not from today to tomorrow is where we make the change. That could be also a situation that could be taxing on our systems. So we have to be careful with that also. So great job of going from not a lot to a little bit more. And that's where I want you to stay. The end goal by the end of 60 days is to be at target, right? If you're not there now, how can you make the strides to get there so that in this 60 days you're at proficiency, right? So great job, Florine. Excellent example of someone who may struggle with hydration. I used to be like that too. When I was tied to a desk and I had to be at my desk and not able to go, I couldn't focus on 100 gallons in a day, right? I couldn't take what I would call a mermaid challenge because I cannot run to the restroom back and forth like that. Also, the timing of your consumption of water is key. Want to be done with that, just like eating fairly early in the evening so that your sleep is not disrupted by patterns of bathroom, walking to the bathroom back and forth. We're not trying to wear a path in the carpet, right? So staying on top of that, stopping by 6 or 7, whatever makes sense, depending on your bedtime, so that you can go through the hydration process also and not, like I said, have to go to the bathroom all night long. Excellent. One more person. Let's go.
Hey, hey.
Hi, darling.
Hi. So I will just share that since I've been on this journey, I have, every night before I went to bed prior to this, I took 3 Tylenols because I had a headache every night. And so since I have been doing the challenge, I have not had to take any um any headache pills at night because I don't have a headache. So I have
I
lost,
love that.
I'm gonna say 10 pounds because I say the other is extra water weight. So I'm just gonna cap it at 10. My scale says more, but I'm not gonna even receive that yet. But
Boy, she's
yes,
building the safety net, y'all.
I am moving more with the exercises and stuff that I've been taking. And I've just been kind of, if I hit a certain step, I try to push it up 500 more steps each day. And my goal is to get to 10,000. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I'm still gonna keep trying. But yeah, I feel so much better, and I'm again gonna say it that I'm so thankful that this is back because for whatever reason I do better at this when I have group support, and so all of you all stories and advice and just tips help me to just kind of stay on point. So I appreciate all of you for that. That's
I
what
love that. Two takeaways from what she just said. The science says we will do more for a team than we will do for ourselves as individuals. So being in a community setting like this or in a group is definitely more motivating. And there's a sense of I can't let others down. If I'm on Todd's team and I don't show up, Todd might not be able to do his movements or get through his workout or do what the partner part of our commitment is. And so if I don't show up, not only do I let me down because I'm excusing myself from my goals, but I let my team down. And so what you're saying and what I'm hearing is exactly that, right? That when this went away, it made it a lot harder for you to be proficient and self-efficient in getting it done for yourself and being a part of the community and finding motivation and inspiration and aspiration in getting it done for yourself here comes from seeing others and wanting to be a part of that. The thing too about the headaches, high level of dehydration will absolutely lead to headaches, to head pain. Constriction in the cardiovascular system is causing that stress. So the body, again, is trying to send you a sense or a cue, a sensor that we need something, and what it needs is hydration. The other thing I want to talk about, hydration in cold weather. Here we are in the middle of winter, right? And some days it's freezing cold. Yesterday it was super cold. In Colorado, I get to single digits, right? The truth about that is this: when it is cold outside, my cardiovascular system shrinks in size. My capillaries and my arteries and all of that system get smaller because it's cold. So what that does is makes me go to the bathroom more often. So now I'm urinating more often because of this, which in turn means higher level of dehydration at a faster rate. So I have to focus on those cold days and getting the water in, even if it isn't just cold water, even if it's warm water or tea or room temperature, you can take it, you're still getting it done versus not getting it in, right? A lot of people will say in cold temperatures it's hard for me to drink cold water because it makes my body cold from the inside out. If that's the case, maybe you drink it right before and get a little bit of movement so you warm the body up. I want to tell you though that it's called a thermogenic response in the body when you drink that cold water, and the body has to raise the temperature of the water up to body temperature. That is a thermogenic response, and it can help or instigate fat loss. So there's some goodness in that too. I like to start my day with really cold water, 20 ounces, to flush the system and get it prepared. Thermogenic starts. That's when I take my ATP control and my muscadine. I do those two together for the boost, and then the thermogenics response starts. Then I get my keto coffee, my Java, and that's how I break my fast. Couple that with my supplement. So that is the order that I take my products in the morning. Cold water, burn, and my muscadine, right? Your ATP and your muscadine, then your Java, then or your shake at that point, then my supplements, so that they're in there with that. So I'm getting the essential nutrition delivered to my body. Now I'll tell you my hack. I like to open up those capsules. Those capsules are a vegetable cellulose. They're a dietary fiber, so they're non-soluble, so they do not count in your carb count. They are a carb. The dietary fiber is a reduction in that space. So you can take, that's why we say you can take your supplements on a fast and it's not going to break the fast. Okay. So there's nothing there that's caloric or carbs or any kind of other macros that would break that fast for you. So I want to make sure that you understand. But my hack is I like to open up the little cap and dump it right into my shake. Those are culinary grade, high integrity products, single ingredients, right? Your ginger, your turmeric, your muscadine. I like to open the capsule, dump it into my shake. It's already in the blends anyway, so it's just a little bit more. And again, my body then doesn't have to break down that cellulose cap. It just is quick absorbency straight to my body. Now, your body also absorbs water and holds it in two different areas. We have extracellular water and intracellular water. The intracellular water is how your cells hold and maintain that hydration, right? And that's speaking about the mitochondria and the function of the cells. The extracellular water is that excess body water weight that Darlene was kind of talking about, right? With its water weight. So here's the truth about the water weight. Fat cells, as you're releasing them, they don't lose place, they deflate, right? So what they're doing is they're saying, I'm not sure if she's serious about this, so I might fill up with water and hold my space. That's what a fat cell does, okay? So around this time in your process, you might notice that if you're consistent and you stick with it in the next 2 weeks, you might drop another 10 pounds. And here's why. Those fat cells are holding that water, storing their space, because they think that you're going to need them again. Once they understand that they are not going to be used, they're going to release that. And now you are going to see a change. We call it a swoosh. And you're going to see a change in not only your body weight, but in composition, right? It's going to release that water weight because it doesn't need to hold it as a placeholder for those fat cells. Fat cells don't go away, they empty and then they reproduce. So that's why they come in fast and furious if we're in a place of weight gain. And it seems to take a long time to get rid of them because they don't go away, they just deflate, they hold space. Okay. So a little more science in that space too. Anything else before we wrap it up? I have been so excited to spend my time with you. Y'all are my little love bugs, and you know that. Anybody else want to share something? I'd love to hear from you.
Well, I've been more focused on exercising. It's definitely helped to be in the program. I've sure appreciated that.
Great. I love that
And
feedback.
and and I like what you said about restarting Monday, because the first week I was gone to rushed up to Kansas to take care of my dad. My schedule was so off, and then I had gotten sick for a day or two. It was just everything was so off, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to hit restart again.
I'm going to do this in the group, in the Facebook chat or the Facebook page. I'm going to post a reset button, and I'm going to invite you all personally to take the knowledge that you've gained in this first part of this challenge, hit the reset button and start again. What if you had that information that you've gained in the last 4 weeks on the first day that you started the challenge? You might have done things a little bit differently, right? You might have executed something differently. You might have moved differently. You might have focused on a different thing, right? So let's do that. Let's just pack it up, pack that toolbox of with all those little nuggets that you've learned in this first 4 weeks of this challenge. Later today, I'm going to post your videos and your movement tile. I've got them all ready for you. I did that this morning. And I'm going to post that reset button. And I want you to physically hit the button. I want you to tap that screen and hit that reset and give yourself grace and permission to start this thing again with more information, better intentions, and just in the space of community, knowing that you've got all of us standing next to you, cheering you on, and hoping you do this thing to the best of your ability. Okay, that is what I'm going to do for you. Anything else before we wrap it up today? This has been an excellent call, and I've enjoyed spending my time with you this morning.
Well, we're supposed to email those papers, what is it, once a day or whatever, the checklist?
I think it's once a week, right, Todd? You send those results in one time a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometime before the Monday night, the new call each Monday night. So you know, whenever you're finishing your week, you can wrap that up, take a picture and send it to that, email it to that address.
Okay. Well, I still haven't got mine printed off. I sent them to my niece and I thought she was going to like Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll message her again. She'll be at school today. And she's got a big class of first and second graders. So she's got her hands full. Plus, we've been at revivals at church every evening, but that's finally over with for right now. So, yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have those sheets. You can grab a piece of paper and just write down your
that's
score.
probably what I need to do.
For each of the categories, and
just make a note for each one. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I think that's excellent advice, Todd. Sometimes we let those things be like the hiccup, right? I don't have those printed out, or I'm not sure where to find it. Here's what I think. If we've got a PDF too, Todd, maybe we could post that out in its form and people could just save the PDF. I'm a digital tracking kind of person. If I have that digital form on my screen, I can use stickers or I can use other methods to keep track of that in a mental note. Or absolutely that. I'm in a situation where I do consultations with people in my online or in my face-to-face training business. And if there's not a sheet available, I'll take an old one that I had some other notes on, grab a blank sheet of paper, and I write all my answers on the other blank sheet following along with the format of what's on the template, right? And that way I still am getting what I need done. I can still communicate or share results. I can take a picture of that and send that in. There's nothing that says if it's not the form, we're not going to give you the point. So do what works for you, right? Find the workaround and make it work, and then get it sent in. And know that there's a lot of grace in that. That is not going to be deducting of 5 points when the teacher grades it, right? Because it wasn't on the right paper. So yeah, find the way that works best for you, the method that's going to keep you in consistency and on track, and use it and be creative. Because you know what? When you're sharing this with others in the future, when we're growing this thing in the future challenges, those experiences or hearing how Rena had to do that will help you when that comes up in your space, right? If Darlene helps a new friend get started in this, but she doesn't have a printer, Darlene could remember this exact conversation and go, that's okay. You know what? Just grab a notebook or in your phone, type some notes about what it is that you see on the sheet, and you can submit that too. They'll accept that, right? So simple, keeping it simple, sweetie. That's the way we're doing this, right? So I love it. I love to hear from you. These are the things, the nuggets that help the others, right? I'm telling you, if you've thought about it, or if you have the question, someone else does too. So always raise your hand and ask for what you need. There's a lot we don't know. And if you don't ask, we're not going to know it. We're never going to know it, right? So do what you need to. You know that we've got the answers and the support. If I don't know, ask Todd. If he doesn't know, he's going to ask Monique. If she doesn't know, she's going to ask Jennifer, right? We're going to find it for you, the resources here. I hope you have the best Valentine's Day. I hope you get to spend it with someone that you love and people that are important to you. And if you've got something out there in a relationship that's challenging you, pick up the phone or send a note today and just say, be the bigger person and just say, I'm just in a space about where we're at with each other, and I just want to fix this. So get that done. Okay. All right. Relationships are so valuable. There's currency in there, and there's transactions in our conversations and in our exchanges. And it's not always about money. The greatest paybacks I get are the gifts to my heart. And there isn't a check big enough for that feeling. Okay. You're precious to me. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Coach,
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Bye, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye. Safe
Happy
travel,
Valentine's Day.
Kristi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
You're welcome.